What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today I've got for you guys some really awesome news about a new feature that's coming in the Rise of Iron expansion, and it's one of the most requested features that the community have had for a long time, so really good to see it's on the way. So Christopher Barrett, who is a game director at Bungie and quite a leading figure of the Rise of Iron expansion, tweeted out this image of two Guardians on the Rusted Lands Crucible map. You'll probably notice something different about them. He said, wouldn't it be cool if class items were affected by shaders again in Rise of Iron? We thought so too. So there you have it, basically confirmation that shaders will once again work on class items, and that's a new feature that's going to work the second Rise of Iron hits. So that's definitely awesome news. It's such a small feature, but it means so much for customization, and I'm way more excited about this than I was for Chroma, for example. I feel like shaders on class items just makes everything fit a lot more properly. You don't have to worry about some ugly color on a cloak that doesn't look right. I think it's one of the best steps for customizations we've had in a long time since they removed it. So like I said, this was actually a feature back in year 1 that was available on quite a lot of cloaks and general class items, but for some reason they removed it, and most of the class items they introduced simply wouldn't work with any color of the shader. I'll show you an example of a very old cloak that I still have, which does work with shaders very well, and this is the Shattered Vault cloak from the Vault of Glass for the Hunter, of course. Now this can actually change to a variety of colors and looks really awesome. It's probably my favorite cloak of all time for the Hunter. Definitely love this one, and you can see all the different colors it can change to. Now, funnily enough, they actually teased this feature when they announced the latest Iron Banner, which I noticed and I thought was pretty strange, but I didn't really see the reason why they did it. But you'll see in these images that the Hunter Cloak is now this blue color, and it's actually being affected by the shader, which is one of the Moments of Triumph shaders. But when the Iron Banner came out last week, it still didn't affect this class item. The shader still didn't work, so I'm guessing it was just teasing the Rise of Iron feature, and then it would be on the way, or maybe they're just testing it to look cool. But either way, once again, our shaders are going to work on class items. Now, if we go back to the image, you'll actually notice the cloak on the left, of course, is the Trials one, and the cloak on the right is actually a cloak that some of you might not recognize. This is a very, very old one of the first few cloaks in the game. It's called the Duskwalker cloak, and it's a legendary Vanguard cloak that you got from Vanilla, as in before Dark Below, before House of Wolves. It is a very, very old cloak, and this could actually change with colors. You could change pretty much any color you want, so I'm not sure why they've included it in this image. Maybe they're bringing back some year 1 cloaks and class items, and maybe this is going to be available in Rise of Iron, or maybe it's just for demonstration to show side by side a year 2 cloak which normally isn't affected by shaders, being the Trials one, and a year 1 cloak, a very old one, which could. So maybe they're just here for demonstration, or maybe they're bringing it back. I'm not too sure. And of course, they're in year 2, holding year 2 weapons with this year 1 cloak. So it's very strange they've got that there. And leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think they're bringing back some year 1 cloaks, or it's just there for demonstration? Now, when I saw this, the one burning question I have is the Flare Cloaks actually going to be affected by shaders, the glowy ones that you get as strike loot items? I think those would be awesome if you could change color, but unfortunately, I highly doubt it. I think it would kind of ruin the whole dynamic of the fact there are 3 different colors. It would be very strange if you can get all these crazy colors you can get before, like an orange one or a black one or a yellow one. Like, I can't imagine these would be affected, but I think it'd be really awesome if they did, but I'm doubting it personally. I guess we're going to have to wait until Rise of Iron to test out and see if it works, but it was definitely the first thing I thought of when I saw that cloaks will now be affected by shaders. I get this is probably more exciting for hunters among us than the warlocks and titans, because of course the hunter cloaks are a very big part of your look, and it covers the most in terms of armor. It's definitely a big thing for hunters. The cloaks are a massive feature, so I imagine the hunters are more excited. I'm personally a main hunter, so this is why I'm most excited about this. The warlock bonds don't really get affected all that much, and of course they're very small. I guess it's just the band part that goes around the arm that will change colors, and not the actual glowy parts on the main section of the bond. I never had a Titan in year 1, so I never actually knew what it was like to change colors. I'm assuming it's very much the same, but I'm personally more excited for my Titan, because so many of the marks in year 2 I think look really, really ugly, and I have a hard time finding a mark that looks good on my Titan, so I'm finally going to be able to pick a nice mark that looks really good with the shader, and I'm hoping it all blends in well. But I do understand there are a lot more hunter cloaks that get affected by this, so I guess if you're a hunter, you can be more excited about this than others. So the final topic I wanted to talk about while on the subject of class items is the idea of light levels on these class items in general, and whether they're going to be removed in the expansion. I've seen a lot of people asking if they're going to remove the light level. I personally have always believed they should. I really hope they do, because it adds more customization, and you can basically use it as a vanity slot. That's what it's meant for. I feel like the class item was for customization. In year 1 it was basically for that, but in year 2 it seems like more of a light level thing. It's become less about customization and more about your actual level and wearing something that's highest level possible. I think personally they won't do it. As much as I wish they would, I don't think they're going to remove it, simply because we've already seen when DJ went to the menu in the Rise of Iron stream, there were already the same amount of slots for the class items, but still still there, and assumingly everything on this page is affected by light level, so I'm doubting they're going to do it. And then also from Bungie's perspective, it adds another RNG element in the sense it's another slot that we have to grind for light level, and it basically adds more replay value if we have to grind it for this class item slot. So I'm doubting they're going to remove it. I wish they would, but I don't think it's going to happen personally. And I think them adding the customization with shaders to class items is kind of like a compromise in the fact they won't remove the light level, but we can now customize them better. So there we have it. Those are all my thoughts on the shaders affecting class items and what to expect in Rise of Iron. Leave your thoughts down below if you're excited for this. I'm sure most of you guys are. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.